The mid-season finale of The Walking Dead Season 7 has come and gone. So what is coming up on the second half of the season? We're going to let you know on this episode of Dead Inside Live.
My mother told me, pick the very best one, and you are it.
Hey everybody, I'm Alex Zalbin.
And I'm Liam Matthews.
And you're watching Dead Inside Live. We're going to be talking about some big spoilers for the second half of the season of Walking Dead. But real quick, what did you think of the mid-season finale?
I thought it was one of the best episodes of the season so far.
Yeah, and you've been kind of mixed on it in general, right?
Yeah, to say the least.
All right. Well, good. Well, let's get into some good stuff. Let's put up our spoiler alert. This is spoilers for American Horror Story, in case you were wondering. So don't worry, we're not going to spoil Walking Dead. Just kidding. We're going to spoil the crap out of it. Starting with the final scene of Hearts Still Beating. This was the, I would say, lost moment in a certain way. Everybody reuniting, the music playing, everybody hugging. It was really emotionally effective, right?
Yeah, it was nice. It was good to see Rick and Daryl's bro hug, and this nice moment with Maggie. They hadn't seen her since she went away.
I'll tell you, like you, I've been a little mixed on the season, but seeing Maggie with Glenn's hat and then seeing Daryl and Rick, who have been the heart of the series, reunite and hug, really did get me, even though it did go on. But the biggest thing is the thing that was saved for the end, which I'm sure we'll get to showing here in a moment. But Rick gets his gun back.
Yeah.
He has the hero moment. We have the hero shot from up top. He finally steps up. Here we go. He's being handed the gun right now. And this is huge. This means we're headed into one of the biggest storylines ever for the show, and something that I think hopefully will repair a lot of the goodwill that was missing in the first half of the season. What are we headed towards, Liam? What's going to happen?
Well, it's a storyline from the comics called All Out War.
Yeah,
which is
pretty
self-explanatory.
Oh, did you figure it out? Yeah, there you go. It's called All Out War. It ran through several issues of the comics, and it is the biggest storyline, at least up until then, that the comics have ever done. They're actually in the middle right now of an even bigger story, which we'll talk about maybe a little bit towards the end of this episode. But like I said, it's everybody getting together to fight Negan. It's exactly what was teased at the end of the episode. And it's huge, and it doesn't exactly go always the way you think it would. It really is a war. It's really strategy. It's Negan's army versus Rick's army fighting back and forth, coming up with different stratagems, attacking, taking over districts. There's a lot that's going to be at play in there. What are we going to see? Who are the players that are on the board right now that are going to come together for All Out War?
Well, it's Rick and the Alexandrians.
Yep.
Hilltop.
Yep, which is up for debate exactly who's in charge of that right now.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to get Gregory out of there for sure. Maggie's going to take over, and then they're going to use their food supplies, whatever.
Yeah, real quick, were you upset? I was pretty upset about this, that Maggie, after he got the apple, didn't say, "How do you like them apples?"
I didn't think of that, but now I am. Yeah, she was all about apples in this episode. It was like, apparently pregnant women really love apples.
Here's the thing. If she could just gotten those apples together with Daryl's peanut butter, it would have been delicious.
Oh, yeah. She can smell apple pie from outside. She has super sense.
She's Daredevil now.
Apple sense.
Anyway, I interrupted you. So we got Alexandria, we got the Hilltop. What else is going on?
There's the Kingdom, which is Ezekiel's people.
Yeah, so Ezekiel is going to be a pretty interesting thing to deal with here, right?
Yeah.
We talked about it a little bit in the last episode with, what was the name of the character, Richard?
Richard.
Right. So Richard was trying to recruit Carolyn Morgan. They basically said, nope. Ezekiel doesn't want to fight. This is something we talked about towards the beginning of the season, but despite his experience, despite his tiger, he's not exactly a coward, but he is scared of getting involved. So it's going to be a little bit of a risk to bring him on board. There's another element that didn't appear in the comics that I do think is going to play into the storyline, which is
Oceanside, which is the all-female colony that Tara visited a few episodes back.
A lot of people were wondering about this episode, how this fit into the overall tapestry. It felt like a one-off, just getting us caught up with Tara and moving Heath off to 24 Legacy. But my guess is Negan's army is gigantic. As we talked about towards the end of the episode, Michonne tells Rick, this is huger even than we thought. It's going to take more than just Alexandria and Hilltop and the Kingdom. Thank you. There's so many of them to take care of them. I think we're going to have Oceanside get into the mix, probably at the last second as well.
Yeah, and they're also notable because, I mean, really important too, because they have guns. Like they are well armed right now in a way that the other colonies are not.
Well, let's while we're talking about well armed, let's jump ahead a little bit and talk about Richard. Had a secret stash. This is another thing that's going to play into things, right?
Yeah, he had a bad room like Charlie has on It's Always Sunny.
Yes. All right, this is good. First of all, terrible job hiding it. If he's like, all right, I'm going to hide this. Forget
Yeah,
you.
so he has like a Breaking Bad trailer full of gasoline and milk bottles.
Right.
so-
This is another thing that bothered me a little bit is
was
him
he
then
crying
breaking the
about?
bottle. That seems really unsafe. And
Well, in the bad room you break bottles.
right, but this is going to pay off in Molotov cocktails.
It looks
right?
like Molotov cocktails.
Yeah, exactly. So all of this stuff is going to play in. They are doing a lot of setup here. There's one other element that we've talked about that hasn't been hinted as much as I thought it would have been at this point, and that's Dwight. Now, in the comics, Dwight, very early on, I think around issue 101 or 102, which is right after Negan is first introduced in issue 100, reveals that he's actually a traitor. He's tired of Negan. He wants to get out of the sanctuary. He's done with it. And he immediately says, I'm going to go over to Rick's side. He later shows up at the kingdom with Ezekiel and is like, listen, I'm working with you guys. Calm down. I'm in this. I'm here to help. We haven't seen any of that yet.
I think we have a little bit. I think
Yeah.
they're just making it happen very slowly. I still think we're going to see it. I just think maybe they're, I don't know, maybe they're just not really pacing it properly. So it's going to feel abrupt when it happens, even though there were subtle hints that it was going to happen.
Right. We'll have to see how it pays off. Sadly, Fat Joey will not be able to defect. Rip Fat Joey. So let's talk about something else that may or may not be coming up. A lot of fans have been asking about this. In the second half of the season, we have all-out war. In more, people die. Is Negan gonna die?
No.
Oh, that was a rhetorical question.
No, there he is with his, he
Shaved.
shouldn't have shaved. I didn't like that. He looks,
Really?
he doesn't look
he
as
did
good.
kind of look like a baby there, but I
Yeah.
think this was probably a reference to the idea that Rick shaved his face when he first got to Alexandria. So I think it was calling back to that a little bit. But yeah, his face looks super weird. And for that alone, he deserves to die.
Yeah, oh, he's not going to die. I mean, he's going to be around for at least another season.
Forever?
Forever?
Yeah, I mean, in the comics, they don't kill Negan. We do know that he's under contract for another season, I believe.
Yeah.
So definitely Jeffrey Dean Morgan is going to be around. Don't think bad stuff does happen to Negan, and yeah, I mean, I don't think this is too much of a spoiler to say he does lose eventually, but he does stick around for a while, becomes a very important figure in a very different way. So no, Negan's not going to die, but
He will be humbled.
he will be humbled as much as you can humble a dude like Negan.
Burr, 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 burr.
Yeah, there we go. I love that thing that he does. Last thing to talk about. This was a very interesting thing to throw into the season finale that I was certainly curious about. Mysterious Boots, Mr. Boots. So,
Yeah.
Aaron, do you want to talk about this? What happened here?
Yeah, so when Rick and Aaron were out on the houseboat, they saw...
So stupid to take that note, you guys.
Throw it away. Yeah, but somebody was watching them from the woods. Somebody with
Oh, there
sort
he
of a
is.
spider webby pattern on their boots, and something wrapped around their leg. It looks like some dental
Rubber
floss
bands
or
or
something.
dental
like
floss or something like
yeah.
that.
But they had some Hot Topic-y sort of Tim Burton boots. And then we saw them again spying on Alexandria with binoculars late at
Right.
night.
So you think it's a goth teen?
I think it's a goth teen. I think it might be maybe Enid's ex-boyfriend.
Probably. It'll be interesting to find out who this is because there's actually not a lot of material or any material in the comic books to indicate it. I mean, it certainly seemed like it was the old man, the guy who used to live in that houseboat. That seemed to be what they're implying.
Oh, is that what it was?
I think that's what they're implying, but I think it's probably somebody else. My most
I think
crazy
it's somebody
off-the-wall theory that I don't think it's this, but the next big threat after Negan is a terrifying group called the Whisperers. Now, the Whisperers, what they do is they've decided the world has moved on. Zombies own the world right now, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to skin some zombies and wear zombie skin and just walk around as if I was a zombie and whisper all the time and not have a name. It's terrifying
Sounds
that is
creepy.
definitely coming on
Yeah.
the show very soon. I would be surprised if they were teasing it this early on Walking Dead, but it's certainly possible, since we haven't seen the person's face completely, that they might be a spy for the Whisperers. We'll see.
Is there anybody who has been missing for a long time? Like, maybe it's Heath. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, it could
maybe.
be. That would be a weird thing.
That
for
would be
Heath.
a weird turn.
Super
It's
weird
probably
thing
not
for Heath to
Heath,
do.
but
It could
maybe
be-
somebody from, I don't know, season 4? I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Maybe it's
Going way
the
back.
doctor from the CDC. Maybe he didn't blow up.
Oh, maybe he didn't blow up.
Yeah, maybe it's that guy in plaid that the guy who wore denim, who they left by the edge of the road in the first season, who I'm totally blanking on the name of. I know a lot about the show, you guys. Whatever it is, we have a long wait. The show is coming back on February 12th, and Dead Inside will be coming back with it, so please stay tuned for that. And we'll see you guys next time on...
Dead Inside.
Oh, that's pretty good.
My mother told me, pick the very best one, and you are it.